अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी, एजाज साहब CEO क्लब मैनेजमेंट हाउस से हाजिर है. Today we have a very exclusive session on managing stress in joblessness in hopelessness. These are the keywords. ये जब joblessness और hopelessness हो जाए तो ये कहता है कि जैसे इन्फ्लेशन के साथ अगर अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट आ जाए तो उससे इन्फ्लेशन फैलाती है. उससे जो क्रिएट होता है वो एक सोशल एंग्जाइटी, एक स्ट्रेस और एक डिप्रेशन क्रिएट होता है. सोसाइटी में इतने सीरियस इश्यूज हैं और वर्क प्लेस के ऊपर ये सारा उसका इफेक्ट आता है, जिससे डायरेक्ट रेट कंपनी की अदारे की प्रोडक्टिविटी पे और उनकी परफॉर्मेंस पे, उनके एक्सीलेंस पे होगी. आज हमारे साथ एक बड़े ही रिनाउंड में क्या को मेरे भी टीचर हैं, मेंटोर हैं, बल्कि मेंटर ऑफ द मेंटोर्स हैं, जफर अजीज ओस्मानी साहब, जो कि मेंबर रहे हैं, वो FBR में भी रहे हैं, हबीब बैंक में, कराची इलेक्ट्रिक. कोई ऐसा बड़ा दायरा नहीं पाकिस्तान का जिसमें इन्होंने साफ नहीं किया, स्पेशली इन द रेलम ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट एंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल डेवलपमेंट. आज लाहौर थे तो मैंने कहा सर वी टेक दिस प्रिविलेज टू लिसन फ्रॉम यू कि क्या सोल्यूशन है सर. इस वक्त तक पूरी कौम एक होपलेसनेस में, एम्प्लॉयज़ का बुरा हाल है क्योंकि जॉबलेसनेस बहुत ज़्यादा हो रही है. तो इसमें जो एंग्जाइटी और स्ट्रेस है उसको कैसे मैनेज किया जाए. तो ओवर टू जफर अजीज उस्मानी साहब, जो कि CEO भी हैं इस वक्त एक्सेलरेटर के. सर ओवर टू यू सर.
थैंक यू सो मच इजाज. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको मैं दोबारा कॉम्प्लीमेंट देता हूँ. अगेन इट्स ऑलवेज सच ए प्लेजर एंड ट्रीट coming and visiting your beautiful setup that you have. I know I have seen you going step by step. This is like an impossible thing for a person that you did, you achieved it, and you have taught everybody in the younger generation. What really works is your commitment and dedication, creating a resource learning center of excellence in a place from nowhere. Great. So I think, this is again, I wish you the best of luck and your mashallah, I hope it grows, it goes to places. Today, I'll take this opportunity to share some of my basic learnings on the situation of unemployment and stress related to unemployment. If you look back in our history in Pakistan, ever since it was created since 1947, unemployment has been always the reason. Always. We've never been optimally employed, which basically means that most of the time we have had more qualified people available for jobs and we haven't had adequate jobs. So that obviously was very important. And what is different now? And anywhere in the world, when there is unemployment, there is a stress because there are people who are ready, willing to contribute to the economy, contribute to the society, but there is opportunities are missing. So you have got a supply side where there are qualified people available, and then you have a demand side which is limited, which grew faster in 1950s and 60s because the economy grew faster at that time. But that was unfortunately the only time when Pakistan was seen as an example, as a case study of a tiger kind of a growth. Pakistan was growing. It was an example. People from Korea, from Thailand, all, they used to come and study Pakistan's model of economic growth and success. We were the showcase. We were the model of success and growth. What happened then? Then, obviously, we lost out. Other countries, if you go to North Korea, South Korea, Singapore, if you go to Thailand, Singapore, yes, every place you will find is no comparison to Pakistan. We look like a slum country. So, I don't want to go more into it. Deficient rahe hum leadership mein aur economic planning mein. So now, obviously, economy grew, and then we faced the first shock. जो ग्रो हो रही थी इकोनॉमी, उसको लिटरली रिटार्ड किया है in 1974 by our government's policy of nationalization of industries.
Absolutely.
So we nationalized several industries. 1974, all the banks, all the steel mills, all the good strategic resource generating institutions of Pakistan were nationalized. Nationalization, unfortunately, what it meant was it goes through the government. And government is not an example of excellence of performance anywhere in the world. So government is basically, bureaucracy. I don't want to take any credit away from bureaucracy. I started my career as a civil servant. I know, I understand. I've worked in FBR 4 years, and I know. Issue is that they don't have the ability to take quick decisions because decision making is always full of risk. So when you take a decision, you're taking a risk, and they have controlling authorities over them, which will make them accountable. And then we created these institutions like National Accountability Bureau. We created all those control-oriented institutions. So they will not take decisions. Safest thing, if you are in a decision-making position today as a federal secretary, and you have to take a difficult decision, you will rather hold it, create one loop or another to carry on, wait for your transfer, and then hand it over to the next person. This is exactly what is happening, unfortunately, very intensely now. And there are organizations which are ready for transformation, par excellence organizations. And Umar Saab will share with you one such organization, which is BISP, Benazir Income Support Program, completely ready for restructuring, reform, but it's not happening because organization inside doesn't want change. So that is the dilemma of the public sector. Now, with that kind of a situation, economy shrunk, economic growth went down, and then in early 90s, some kind of deregulation was done. India did at the same time, by the way, deregulation. India was also very controlled economy. But after that deregulation, we went into total chaos and mismanagement. India never looked back. They're just growing like unbelievable speed. Jobs, opportunities, new product, new services. Globally, they all started. Center of excellence. The students they are producing are extremely high quality talent for the world. So they just sucked in immediately by the world. And unfortunately, we kept on focusing which government next and how do we manage this, how do we manage next election and all. That's that part of that. I mean, I don't blame anyone, but we were victims of very pathetic circumstances. Now today, I'm saying that we talk about the joblessness and stresses. We have always had that. When in 1998, privatization started, 4 out of 5 banks were privatized. And they were all 5 big banks were making losses. But after privatization, these banks started making profit, and they are doing a good job now. Habib Bank, United Bank, MCB, Allied Bank, they were all taken over by entrepreneurs who take quick decisions and who make difference. So what happens now is, unfortunately, other sectors where we are sitting, power sector, the airline, the communications and all is still in the government ownership and lacking decision making. I'm not blaming them for inefficiency, but I'm saying that the real challenge is they can't take decisions. And that has not only slowed down our economic, it has held us back. Like, you put chains in my feet and ask me to run with the rest of the countries like India, like Bangladesh, freed independent in 1971, has gone way ahead. So what is holding us? It is our own mistake. Today, unfortunately, Pakistan's economic history is at its worst. Never have we seen such pathetic performance by the economy in a country, in a region which is growing. It's not that there is a global recession going on. Never have we seen something like this, and today it's happening here. And as a result of that, things are closing down. Industries, growth is minimal, negative growth. Industries, actually with the power, with the power rates and all those limitation of infrastructure, mills are our productive units are being shut down. Pricing mechanism is not there in place. Now, I don't want to go and complain about that, but I'm saying we are today in a spiral of joblessness, which actually we have not seen at the level, because it's still jobs are there and people are working on jobs. But once this turn around, and that's a very important point I'm making, once this turn around, it's going to turn around very, very soon, because IMF has put us in a pressure to try to privatize these organizations. And it's going to happen in months. Once that starts happening, you're going to have a lot of redundant jobs. Jobs where people have been employed, they are being paid, but those jobs actually do not exist. Like in banks, there were people who used to manage things manually, system came, technology came, and all became redundant. They have to be retrained and did something else. Now, other industries also, now we have entered into an era of technology. We have entered into an era disruption, artificial intelligence, and things are happening, and lot of manual processes. Remember this very important thing. We are dependent on manual process. Manual process means where human value addition is required. So if there is a human value addition required, you are in a manual process. We are unfortunately going to lose most of those jobs. They will be taken over by automation. They will be taken over by artificial intelligence. A number of them have already, we don't notice, jobs in the travel industry. The travel agents, they're becoming minimal now. Because everything, you just pick up your phone app and you find the best deal available, best hotel negotiations, disruption, Uber, Airbnb. So new models of business have come in and we're not ready with that. And you know what? The tragedy part is our universities are creating human resource from all that classical books and professors who have learned only what they teach. Notes likhake and all that. So now unfortunately, so we are not creating that human resource which is needed for today and tomorrow world, and we will be having a lot of redundancies. So how do we handle this? How do we manage the unemployment part of it? And what's going to really happen is there will be more joblessness, there will be more joblessness, there will be more stress. Because the moment people lose their jobs, basically what it means is, we are not like a Western society where you lose a job and it's only you and your children are all separate and everything. We still have a nucleus of a family. And one bread earner provides for sustenance of 5, 6, 7, 8 people, right? So if unfortunately we're going to do that, and we are going to be unfortunately in that situation, the stress and joblessness is going to be an acute problem of Pakistan, acute problem in our society. It's going to lead to, it's already doing it. You've heard news, people are committing suicides because of the stress. Because, you can't face your children when you go home and, you don't have, they have expectations, they have, like all normal children, their needs, and you're not ready to meet them. You are putting the entire, not one person who loses job, entire family is going through the stress. So unfortunately, we have to realize that this is a ground reality today. And how is it going to be managed is something that our minds, our brain power, our intellectuals, our creative thinkers have to set. And the way forward is only something, we are excellent in human resource quality, potential. We are pathetic in creating them, transforming that human resource into a productive human resource.
Absolutely.
And that has to be done now. And planners have to do it. Now, I don't want to leave it to the planners. And Ijaz, I think this is where I will also encourage you. Institutions like yourself, they have to come up with programs which are futuristic. They have to come up with programs which will take you further into the future, provide greater opportunity for people to learn. And you have to you have to contribute towards creating the resource which will be needed tomorrow. 2023, 2025 will be in a different world. 2030 we will be in a different world. What kind of talent will be needed? What kind of opportunities will be available? We are not aware, we are totally oblivious, and what we need to do is seriously start creating that human resource. So, it's like a market. You are in an industry, there is a customer, there is a customer need. Now, customer need is of one product, and what we are producing is something which customer doesn't need. And then we say, okay, my product, nobody is buying my product. What is the problem? Problem is you're not creating the product that's needed by the customer. So that's a very simple thing. So we have to mobilize on a war footing. Mind my word, young man. On a war footing, we have to mobilize all people development channels, including the universities, including the technical training institutes, including the professional training institutes, to understand the need of the future and start creating that kind of resource which is ready for the market. So I'll just very quickly, briefly conclude here. It's a serious issue. We have it in Pakistan. Joblessness, creating the stress. People have started taking their lives, burning their children before they burn themselves. This is a very, very painful thing. It is not sustainable. If it is not managed now, you can see a bloody revolution like the French Revolution, where 200 people were brought out of their big houses and slaughtered on a center. So let's not get into that. Let's be very intelligent about it. And again, Ijaz, you have a beautiful setup here. People come here, try and propagate this message, propagate this awareness. That we have to create this awareness. Unfortunately, the biggest thing is people are not even fully understanding the magnitude of the issue. So wish you all the best of luck, and I will request.
Sir, thank you very much, Osmani Sahab. You just framed this situation and the context of the problem regarding the joblessness and the hopelessness. You really put in the things. If allow me to say two things are very important. Unemployment is ज़्यादा जो serious issue है वो unemployability है. You are referring to कि वो market need skills and competence so we can face the market. Now we have another speaker and the panelist, Umar Sheikh Sahab, who is the managing director of Excelerate, one of the top leading HR consultancy in Pakistan, based in Karachi. Umar Sahab, please आप अपना propound करें, just share your thoughts of this joblessness and the solution part of the problem. Okay, how we can overcome this joblessness and hopelessness.
First of all, I would just add on to what Zafar Sahab said, that the issue is extremely serious.
Yes.
But I think the major problem that I see is that people do not think themselves. People, the moment they find that they're out of a job, they just give up. Mm-hmm. They just say that the world has come to an end.
Very well. Very well.
I mean, if one has to see and create the conditions to reduce this joblessness, but fact is there are no jobs, and what it says, hopelessness. This is something which is, I think, the real killer. Jobs aati jati rehti hain. Jobs is not everything. But then once you become hopeless, then there is
more dangerous, more killing.
And that is what Zafar Sahab has referred to. Now, there are a number of solutions that are there that one has to take on oneself. But one has to give this kind of education to the people, has to tell the people that, dekhen, this, tumhari job khatam ho gayi hai. That does not mean this is the end of the world. Think of what you can do. Help him in locating or doing something else. If we just go a little back, Steve Jobs was failed and was fired 4 times. Every time after a failure, he came out better and more successful. There is no restriction in people thinking of doing an alternate livelihood. If you have noticed, there are a number of people, I know that I have seen it on the social media. For example, in Islamabad, the gentleman was an MBA with a lot of experience out of a job. So he says, I am not getting a job anywhere. I am not even getting a low paid job. So one thing was to say, okay, I can't do anything. That's the end. But no. He said, okay, what can I do? What else can I do? I mean, you don't need to be an MBA to do anything else. He and his wife started making biryani in his house. And he said, okay. And he said, this is made in my house, totally hygienic. And he started going to different markets and selling it in small packs. And people started realizing that at least they know that this is something better than what you get outside. Plus, they saw that the drive in this individual to improve his lot, to get out of that hopelessness situation. So, that is, I think, this is an alternate jobs, alternate work has to be found. Now, there are unfortunately no institutes or setups in Pakistan which can guide people towards that. Here I think it is the responsibility, our responsibility of the companies, responsibility of the intellectuals, of the educationists to give some hope to the people that you can do something else. Plumbing, cleaning, the field is very vast. The only restriction is in your mind. And this is something क्योंकि हमारे एक दिमाग में डाला हुआ है कि
लोग क्या कहेंगे,
आप क्या कहेंगे आपको. And that dignity of labor does not exist here in Pakistan. Now this dignity of labor, the lack of that existence is the basic problem.
लोग क्या कहेंगे.
Just to give you, I'll quote you a very small example where golf is considered to be a rich man's game, normally. I was in Australia and we went for golf. I said, okay, where do I play? So there were 3 Australians. So I said, okay, there is a group of 4 which plays. So as I went there, so the first guy introduced himself as a CFO of a big multinational. The second person introduced himself as a very senior general manager of another multinational. And do you know who was the third guy? He said, I'm Smith. I'm a plumber. And I said, what? He said, he's a plumber. Now my game went for a 6 because now I was only worried, interested in seeing the interaction between these top-notch management people and a plumber. And believe me, I realized that true Islam was there. There was no difference. And now this is something where, because I just thought back, I said, would I be ever willing to play golf with my plumber?
Good point.
So, I think the issue is dignity of labor. Now, as I said on the issue of hopelessness, because everybody in the society, oh, इसके पास तो जॉब नहीं है, अच्छा नौकरी चली गई, अब क्या होगा? तो automatically you start getting negativity and negative thoughts, and negativity is a killer. Whether it is in your current job, in your work, in your normal life, negativity is a killer.
Very true.
The first thing is you need to make these people realize that yaar, this is not the end of the world. God has given you 2 hands. God has given you eyes, head, everything. You are able to walk, talk, move. Okay, think of something else. So this is not the end of the world. But I wish that there are people who can tell this to these people who get joblessness. And I think Ijaz Saab could probably help out in this, and with the CEO's club that he has, that there could be some kind of CSR by these large companies to go to different places and to identify people with job issues and who are in that, and try and just talk to them. Believe me, the mere fact that you can talk to somebody will make a difference.
Great.
उमर साहब, किसी ने पूछा दोस्तों के हवाले से कि एक रिसेशन में और डिप्रेशन में क्या फ़र्क होता है? Anybody knows what is the difference economic recession and economic depression? एक डिप्रेशन साइकोलॉजिकल होता है, एक इकोनॉमिक डिप्रेशन भी होता है. जैसे इकोनॉमिक रिसेशन चल रहा है आजकल. Anybody know the difference? इब्राहिम लंदन आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन सर. उस्मानी साहब, जिसके ऊपर हम आज बात कर रहे हैं, इब्राहिम लंदन से पूछा गया, उन्होंने कहा कि जब किसी हमसाये की जॉब चली जाए आपके साथ तो वो रिसेशन है, और जब आपकी अपनी जॉब चली जाए तो ये डिप्रेशन है. तो पहले तो ये क्लियर होना चाहिए कि रिसेशन जब दूसरे को देखते हैं जॉब चली जाए और अपनी चली जाए. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है, सोल्यूशन की तरफ आए जरा, कि एक होप जॉबलेस है तो चलो ठीक है, आरजी हो सकती है, आज नहीं है कल मिल जाती है जॉब, या बंदा अपना सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड हो जाता है, छोटा मोटा धंधा कर लेता है. सर ये नाउमीदी का क्या मसला है? सर इस वक्त पूरी कौम को आप किसी को लतीफ़ा भी सुनाएं तो लोग मुस्कुराते नहीं हैं. इतना ज्यादा डिप्रेशन अंदर चला गया, और इस वक्त सबसे बड़ा इशू चल रहा है सोसाइटी में, वो स्लीप डिसऑर्डर है, सुसाइड्स हैं, ड्रग्स हैं, एक विड्रॉल रिएक्शन है, ये स्क्रीन टाइम है, 8 घंटे लोग इसी के अंदर घुस गए हैं, रियलिटी को फेस का एस्केप बिहेवियर है सारा. Sir, it's now मीठी का इलाज बताएं, please.
No, very true, very true. Let me just say that what you're touching is a very important point. The issue is, पहले तो ये कि let me just connect with you कि हमारा जो employment का जो cultural understanding है हमारी, जो अंग्रेजों ने के ज़माने से colonial दौर से दी है, वो employment को, government की employment को वो कहते हैं पक्की नौकरी. आज भी ये कहते हैं लोग. So the word employment brings with it a connotation of a long-term commitment to the job. अच्छा, वहाँ से अब ये शॉक कल्चरल ज़्यादा होता है when there is a job loss, डिप्रेशन की आप बात करें. अगर किसी की जॉब चली जाए तो हमने ये सीखा है कि ये तो क़यामत आ गई. उमर साहब ने बहुत प्यारी बात, भाई क़यामत नहीं है ये. दुनिया में बहुत सी जगहों पे लोगों की जॉब जाती हैं, बट इट्स ए क्वेश्चन ऑफ लुकिंग एट द अपॉर्चुनिटीज. हमारे यहाँ हमने शायद रियलाइज नहीं किया हो कि कितनी नई जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज थ्रू आजकल तो बड़ा कॉमन है डिलीवरी के, जो है होम डिलीवरी और इसके, और जैसे उमर साहब ने कहा बहुत सारे बन गए छोटी छोटी जगहों पे, यूजिंग द फेसबुक एंड द मीडिया टू सेल देयर प्रोडक्ट. औरतें अपने घरों में केक बनाती हैं, वो बेकरी वाले के पास चले जाता है, एंड सो देयर इज अ प्रोडक्टिविटी गोइंग. अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस इज ऑल अनडॉक्यूमेंटेड इकोनॉमी, सो इट हैपेंस. लेकिन जो डिस्कनेक्शन है जिसकी आप बात करें कि जॉब चली गई तो अब मैं अपने आप को एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड पे समझता हूँ कि तो दुनिया खत्म हो गई मेरी. तो दैट इज नॉट ट्रू. और ये एजुकेशन और ये रियलाइजेशन कि एंड ऑफ वन जॉब डज नॉट मीन एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. आपने बड़ी अच्छी बात की. बात ये कि यार ये इसका मतलब जॉब जाने का, इट इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, बिकॉज यू हैव टू लुक फॉर टू थिंग्स. वन इज द न्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज and then you have to look for one thing.
जरा लाइटर मोड पे ये आप जॉब की बात कर रहे हैं या शादी की बात कर रहे हैं? मतलब ये क्लियर कर दीजिए.
अच्छा, ये आप ये if you want to come on the lighter side, if you want to come on the lighter side, अगर जॉब जाने में और शादी जाने में the happier occasion is which one? ठीक है,
$1 million question.
It's always manageable. जॉब शायद इतनी आसानी से ना मिले जितना नेक्स्ट स्पाउस मिल जाए.
सर वो भी बहुत मुश्किल है सर.
आप अपनी कोशिशों को मुझसे गाइडेंस लेके
परसेप्शन की बात है सर.
एनीवे, so thank you so much for bringing it. This is a reality, हम तो यही समझते हैं ना कि फोकस आना है नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज पे, सोचना है और अपने लिए उसको तैयार करना है स्किल्स की. देयर आर पीपल हु आर मेकिंग सो मच मनी जस्ट यूजिंग ऑनलाइन अमेजन की सॉफ्टवेयर को, प्रोडक्ट को यहाँ के इसमें लॉग इन करके. तो वो कौन कराएगा वो क्रिएशन? बेचारे बच्चे खुद ही आके टीवी पे चीख रहे होते हैं, आप पैसे नहीं बना रहे, क्यों नहीं बना रहे, ये लें, ये करें, वो करें, वो करें. दैट अवेयरनेस हैज टू बी क्रिएटेड.
इसके अंदर जो अवेयरनेस है ना, दैट एग्जिस्ट इन अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल विच इज नॉट अपेरेंट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि मेरे दोस्त है, उसके पास एक कुक था. जैसे ही ये स्मार्टफोन आया, so he is the biggest user of smartphone, because पहले वो उसके घर पे काम करता था, 24 घंटे वहीं रहता था. Now he has branched out, and what he is doing is, so my friend asked him, he himself is a tech guy, he set up NUST and Pakistan Software Board. So he said कि I asked him, his cook, कि यार तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो? तो उसने कहा नहीं साहब, ये अभी मैंने आपका 2 घंटे में खाना कर दिए, उसके बाद मैंने फलानी जगह जाना है, वहाँ मैंने 2 घंटे लगाने, फिर मैंने रात का खाना एक जगह डिनर है वहाँ जाना है, उधर मैंने बनाना है. So he realized that this cook was utilizing this facility of this WhatsApp and others to generate business.
Absolutely.
अच्छा, अब ये कोई साइंस नहीं है, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. The only thing is that जब वो when the people are told कि you don't have a job, and the moment everybody else tells him कि यार तुम मारे गए और ये तो खतर हो गया, क्या होगा, and when he goes home, now he is a head of a family, if he has got wife and children, so just consider the fact that when he goes there and tells them कि यार ये हो गया, and then suddenly the children and the wife realize and the mother or the father or the brother or the sister realize कि इसकी जॉब चली गई है, they all become depressed. They all become stressed. And this stress is a multiplier. This stress will continue multiplying to an extent where you see this level of frustration in the people. आप normal traffic में देखें आजकल.
All kind of negativities.
Cycle वाला भी होगा, and you just, there is a touch or anything, the guy will, with the anger with which he will look at you, because you are sitting in a car. And the motorcycle wala, the पैदल चलने वाला, I have seen in Karachi पैदल चल रहा था, and he was walking slowly. So the car in front of me gave him the horn. That guy just turned around. He was a laborer. He just turned around and stood in the road and started shouting. And I said, I hope it doesn't come to that, because all this frustration is adding up. And this frustration in the society is not going to stay. It is going to come to a stage where it is going to explode. As Zafar Sahab rightly brought it out, the time is not far. We have to do something. अब वो इजाज़ साहब बात कर रहे थे कि इसके लिए so much of despondency and everything.
Solution, sir.
Solution. Stable government. Priority one.
That's not in our hands.
They're not in our hands. But then again, without this, we will continue having these problems.
नहीं, मैं तो ये कह रहा हूँ साहब इसी बात पे कि इसको ना हम वेट कर रहे हैं, सोल्यूशन आएगा कहीं से.
Yes.
230 million people. Good education institutions, intellectually तो आपको aware कर, technically नहीं कर रहे. Why don't people take ownership of creating these? जैसे आपने ये अच्छी मिसाल दी, वो कुक ने जाके एक काम शुरू कर दिया, लोग हैं रात को जाके वैले का ड्राइवर्स काम करके आ जाते हैं, पैसे कमा लेते हैं. Think of facilitate people to think about doing something about it. वो गवर्नमेंट तो कब आएगी कब नहीं आएगी, गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी, गवर्नमेंट के क्या मराहिल होंगे. I think the time has come, Ijaz, for people of Pakistan. Responsibility falls on our shoulders as professionals to instigate some of these things. What is there to start? You sitting a 1 hour a week lecture on new career opportunities. Ijaz Nisar will talk on new career opportunities. Go to the, online, and you start telling. Call some of these young jobless boys, girls, sit and talk to them, and let them, and then call some expert like Umar Saab to give them some thoughts. 1 घंटे का program, but make it a branded program. And I'm saying every one of us should do it in our own capacity. We meet and we talk. I'm very happy to have Had here. He's from the Bank of Punjab, and today we were doing some learning together on the art of negotiation, and it's very nice of him to have come here. हर branch में लोग आते हैं आपके, and we are not very conscious that we have a responsibility or we have the ability to guide and educate. You meet 10 customers आपके पास रोज आते हैं और problems होती हैं उनके पास, so you become a voluntary advisor. नहीं, एक तो आप तो चलें, you are a very fine gentleman, so you will do that. लेकिन ये कि इसको adopt it as a organization culture, adopt it as a corporate culture, कि आपके पास professionals are trained. We just create that awareness. Devote 1 hour of your time or 2 hours of your time. Go to the colleges जहाँ से graduating students are. Jobs are not ready for them. Guide them, counsel them to do things. And you should have done some research with you. आपके पास 10-5 products मौजूद होने चाहिए. Go to this site, Amazon, this and that, and start doing it. थोड़ा सा उनको पोच की, थोड़ा सा इंजन के start करने की देर है. And I think if you, I must thank you. The idea.
इजाज़त है, questions कुछ ले लें.
नहीं, question ले लें, मुझे मासूम बच्चों का भी ख्याल है.
Please, Nazia, another question from this side, sir. Question on this joblessness, hopelessness. Ji, Nazia.
So you're talking about joblessness. Do you think that there is any kasoor of the opposite side of the people as well, means those who are looking forward for the job? Are they not competent enough? Are they not very passionate enough? Or there is a problem with their...
Not serious, not...
Nani, you've raised a beautiful questions. I am in the job market. लेकिन मैंने अपने आप को डिफाइन किया हुआ कि मैं ये जॉब करूंगा, इस लेवल की इसकी जॉब मिलेगी तो मैं करूंगा. आई हैव नॉट kept my mind open to take up the job which I can contribute and grow. And it doesn't have to be, हम तो बचपन से कोशिश करते हैं डॉक्टर इंजीनियर बने, वो नहीं बने तो इंटरमीडिएट में जाके फौज में चला जाए, वो नहीं करे तो MA करके हमारी तरह जाके लॉ करके CSS में बैठ जाए. Those are the career pursuits. Now what happens is we ingrain in our mind that these are the only career options. And there are so many पक्की नौकरी. There are so many opportunities. Entrepreneurs आजकल आ रहे हैं बच्चे आपके. Corporate sector है, आपके अपनी छोटी छोटी business units आप बना सकते हैं. I was very impressed with these two young ladies who are doing pharmaceutical की अपनी. I mean look, इनको कोई इन्होंने गवर्नमेंट से इमदाद नहीं मांगी, कोई सपोर्ट नहीं मांगी. They have some skill through education and they're using it, leveraging it. I don't know आपको कोई career counseling भी मिली कि नहीं मिली. No, but we'll be very happy to provide you whenever you want to show you some direction on strategic planning and some of those things that will help you grow faster. So, ये लोगों को mindset से निकलना है, पक्की नौकरी के लोगों को mindset से निकलना है कि we do not bind ourselves कि हमको यही मिलेगी जॉब. वरना ना एक जमाना में था BA करके जॉब मिल गई, क्लर्की की भी जॉब मिल जाती थी, लोग कहते थे जॉब मिल गई. Now it's not that. जनरेशन Z की हम बात करते हैं. They say कि hell with the classical work. एक काम उनसे 3 साल आप करा लें, वो कहेंगे जी मुझे तो ये नौकरी नहीं चाहिए, बोर हो गया हूँ मैं. अब मैं तो अपने आप को खुद जनरेशन Z समझता हूँ. आपको I'll tell you why कि मुझे सरकारी अफसरी में जो CSS मैंने कैरियर शुरू किया, 3-4 साल बाद बोर हो गया मैं. तो मेरी नेचर है कि जब मैं बोर हो जाऊं तो आई लुक फॉर समथिंग. और फिर अल्लाह मियाँ हैज ऑलवेज बीन वेरी काइंड इन प्रोवाइडिंग मी ऑप्शंस. ठीक है ना. तो आई हैव ऑलवेज व्हेनेवर आई फाउंड दैट आई एम इन अ मोनोटोनस सिचुएशन आई लुक फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटी और अल्लाह में खुद ही वो अपॉर्चुनिटी मुझे दे देते.
तो मेरे दोस्त हैं सिविल जज है, सीनियर सिविल जज, तो उनकी मैं कोर्ट में बैठा फैमिली कोर्ट को देखते हैं. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि व्हाट इज द रीजन, नंबर 1 रीजन कि इतनी ज्यादा सेपरेशन डाइवोर्सेस क्यों हो रही हैं. उन्होंने कहा लिटरली सर ये वाली बात बोली. वो कहते हैं कि इस वक्त शादियों में डाइवोर्सेस नहीं हो रही, खुलास हो रहे हैं. और मैं क्योंकि जज हूँ 800 केस है मेरे पास, और मेन वजह इस वक्त लड़कियां आगे कहती है मैंने खुला लेना है. मैंने बेटा क्यों लेना है खुला, एज अ जज वो पूछते हैं, उनको लहदा भी पूछते हैं कि भी अपना घर बसाओ. कहती नहीं मैं बोर हो गई. अब
you know you're lucky you were sitting with a family judge और उन्होंने आपको खवातीन का वर्जन बताया.
कहते मैं बोर हो गई है शक्ल देख देख के.
यार मासूम हस्बैंड का सोचें. जो कब का बोर हो चुके होते हैं, but they don't even think about कि I mean we think कि ये हमारा जन्म बंधन हिंदुओं का मुसलमानों का नहीं है. but we marry to live together forever और till death जो क्रिश्चियंस पढ़ते हैं till death do us apart. तो वो हम उस फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड में. लेकिन आपकी बात से दिल को खुश हुआ कि कम से कम there are some खवातीन who feel if they're getting bored. Then I mean look, honestly Nadia, I appreciate that कि यार why do you only get one life. एक जिंदगी मिली आपको. You have a right to live happily. ऐसी ठंडी सांस नहीं भरो तुम्हारी बेगम चल रही है.
But that happiness comes from inside you, not from the other people.
No, I mean if it's a happy situation, you're blessed. I'm saying unfortunately, if it is a mismatch of temperament, if it's a mismatch of liking and disliking in life, then what we have been taught is to learn to live with it. ठीक है, हमारी बच्चों को हम ये सिखाते हैं. गए हो तो क्या डोली जा रही है तो जनाजा निकले वहां से. राइट, दैट्स व्हाट वी टीच. अच्छा, अब इट हैज बिकम मोर फ्रीक्वेंट. लड़कियां पढ़ी लिखी समझदार है, वो कहती यार क्या जरूरी है कि मैं जनाजा ही निकालूं यहाँ से.
They can see the red flags now.
They can exactly.
They understand.
Sir, the financial empowerment.
No, awareness, understanding, and I am telling you, I fully support that. Why should a human being be denied the opportunity of living a happy life? I mean, look, there is a difference between living a balanced, happy life and getting outrageous. बना लेना. That's different. You understand the difference.
But let's get back to the topic. Okay, हमें उस topic पे ही रहना है. I have got one more question from you. So now I don't agree with the topic basically because what do I feel is an expert, carpenter, or any professional is always appreciated by the industry and society.
Right. True.
I haven't seen any actual hard worker, smart and technically expert guy looking forward for a job. So isn't it?
Okay, let me share my learning from my life, right?
So isn't it like आपको कोई कारपेंटर अच्छा मिला हो आप 6 साल बाद भी उसी को ढूंढ के लाएंगे यार मेरे
Ma'am, what you're talking is about a talented human being.
But
right? A talent is always
Yes.
skilled.
Whether you're talking
No, skilled
about
talent.
CEO,
Anybody,
anyone.
even your tea boy, a talented tea boy will never be let
Out of
go.
a job.
Even driver, अच्छा, you are
लेकिन
So this joblessness and hopelessness is for those who are not committed to work.
it is for those who are in the frame of mind of पक्की नौकरी
Yes.
और उन्हें ज्वाइन कर लिया एक मर्तबा तो now they know that they will retire from here.
Yes.
और उनको शौक आता है ये क्या हो गया. You know, बैंक में मैंने आपको बताया unfortunately I am saying inverted commas में बोल के unfortunately I was part of the team which had to lay off 5,000 and 3,500 people from bank. अब आप देखिए किस फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड में इनकी एम्प्लॉयमेंट हुई थी when they were hired in 1991 on political उस पे. So bank was asked to issue appointment letters with blank on top of it. नाम नहीं लिखा हुआ था
कि बस भर लो बंदे भरो.
ना नहीं अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर डियर मिस्टर XYZ जो भी खाली है. You have been appointed as officer grade 3 with effect from such and such blah blah blah. ये रहे नेशनल बैंक में भी रहे उनको भी जानते तो वहां पे ये लेटर दिए जाते थे जो कोटे के तौर पर पॉलिटिशियंस बांटते थे. भाई किन्हू वोट किसको लेना किसको नहीं लेना चल तू 50 बंदे अपने भरा दे तू भरा दे. वो जाके वहां से भर के उसमें अपना नाम लेके रिपोर्टिंग ड्यूटी के लिए आता था. अब वो बंदा जब आ गया है उसने पैसे भी दिए आगे बड़े सारे तो ये इज कम विद द स्टेट ऑफ माइंड कि अब तो मैं रिटायर हो गया पक्की नौकरी हो गई. So that has been part of the culture, unfortunately.
So it will be difficult for him to find another job.
Of course.
There is no his concept of job is बड़ा अच्छा लफ्ज यूज किया था हराम. भाई आगे महीने में आके अपना पे लो. हाँ कंफर्ट जोन कंप्लीट चिल्ड जोन कि जी आप आए और अपने महीने में आके तनख्वाह ले जाए. और सिर्फ तनख्वाह नहीं तनख्वाह के साथ साथ पेंशन ये वो मेडिकल पूरी फैमिली का बीवी का अगर बीवियां हैं तो बीवियों का बच्चों का भाई बहनों का डिपेंडेंट भाई बहनों का और आपको मैं बता रहा हूँ करोड़ों रुपए का एक्सपेंस मैंने कराची इलेक्ट्रिक में भी और वहां देखा है. फेक
Understandable.
फेक नहीं वो पैसे बनाते यूनियन वालों को. Let me also share this with you very quickly. I know time, I know you have to go. बस लास्ट में करो कि यूनियन के जो लोग हैं इन बैंकों में पब्लिक सेक्टर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ दे आर बीइंग पेड 5 times more than द मार्केट.
Yes.
आपको पता है जो ड्राइवर्स हैं नेशनल बैंक में 2-2 लाख 2.5 लाख ले रहे हैं. जिस जमाने में मैं अभी बैंक को टर्न कर रहा था उस जमाने में हमारे ड्राइवर 40-50 हज़ार ले रहे थे. 9,000 में ड्राइवर मिल रहा था खुले मार्केट में फुल्ली कमिटेड. गार्ड्स हमारे 60-70 हज़ार रुपए ले रहे थे कंपनी से विद ऑल दीज बेनिफिट मेडिकल फलाना. एंड मार्केट में ब्रिग्स कंपनी थी 9,000 रुपए में आपको फुल्ली यूनिफॉर्म असलहे के साथ 12 घंटे के लिए लाके दे देती थी. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्यों पाल कर रखा हुआ हम लोगों ने. तो when this happened and I was in a press conference and these guys asked these हाफी हजरात ये आप बताएं उस्मानी साहब आपने तो इतने घरों के चूल्हे बंद कर दिए ये कर दिया वो कर दिया. एंड माय आंसर वाज वेरी सिंपल यार. तो मुझे आप जॉबलेसनेस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. ये जो लफ्ज है ना जॉबलेसनेस मैंने कहा मैं जॉबलेसनेस नहीं क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ. मैं अगर एक आदमी 50,000 रुपए अभी ले रहा है उसकी जगह मैं 5 आदमी मार्केट रेट पे लेके आऊं तो मैं तो 4 और आदमी हायर कर सकता हूँ. Why should I pamper one person? So you see the connection, joblessness.
सर आप बड़ी सही बात कर रहे हैं. मैं थोड़ी सी हमारी ब्रेक है चाय का ब्रेक आ गई. सर ये आपने जो बात कर रहे हैं सरकारी नौकरी पक्की नौकरी के बारे में मेरा एक जुमला है सर. कहते हैं कि काम ना करने की वो तनख्वाह लेते हैं और काम करने की रिश्वत लेते हैं।
Very good.
सरकारी
Very beautifully.
Absolutely.
काम ना करने की
Put it
वो
on the
तनख्वाह
dot.
लेते हैं और काम करने के वो रिश्वत लेते हैं।
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं।
पैसे होते हैं काम करने के, बाकी तो स्टाइपेंड
मेरे
है।
उस्ताद थे डॉक्टर साहब नकी, वो रेलवे के चीफ इंजीनियर थे, तो वो कहते थे मेरे पास अक्सर दोस्त आके कहते जी मेरे पुत्र ने बीए कर लिया ते ਇਹਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਅੱਗੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ, ਉਹਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਕੋਈ नहीं करना, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ फिर चला तुम रेलवे से भर्ती करा दी। मतलब वो पहले से ये था कि मैंने अब काम कोई नहीं करना, पढ़ लिया इतना पढ़ना था,
That is a state of mind.
रेलवे में भर्ती करा दो, कोई काम तो करना नहीं पड़ेगा। सर थैंक यू वेरी मच, हम इसको कंटिन्यू करते हैं। कोई जो क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन है ये कंटिन्यू रहेगा आपका। सर बहुत शुक्रिया, वी विल कंटिन्यू द सेशन।